import. There I have created a base class because when there is a reusability work, I have created the base class and I have extended the base class everywhere. Then wherever I have the data, I have removed the data and added the data driven framework and made that as a hybrid framework. Then I have implemented the page object model also to take care of reusability. Hope you guys have understood right up to there. Yes. See, now whenever I tell you to navigate from one page to another page, I said you to add some checkpoints, but you have not added any checkpoints. It's better to add some checkpoints always. Let me, as soon as I open the browser and URL, let me add some title checkpoint. String expected title is equal to, what is the title of this page? Right click inspect. Title driver dot get title. Get title. It returns a string. Hold that in a string variable, that is actual title. Title. Actual title. Expected title and actual title. Expected title and actual title. If both are same, I want to print as pass or else I want to print as fail. Other class of testng. Other class of testng as hazard equals to actual title equals to expected title. If both are same, it will continue the next line of execution, or else it will throw you the error here itself. After logging in, I can add some text checkpoints. After logging in, string expected text is equal to. Whenever we navigate from one page to another page, it's better to add some checkpoints. Next, I need to identify this element, right click inspect. Private dot find element by dot xpath dot get text. It returns a string. Hold that in a string variable. String actual text is equal to. If both are same, if actual text dot equals the expected text. Sorry, not actual. I can use other class of testng which has hazard equals to actual text dot equals expected text. Yes, this is how I can. Whenever we navigate from one page to another page, it is better to add some checkpoints. We have learned in the beginning. That is what I am implementing here. Are you able to understand? Yes. And throughout the project, I'm working on only one browser. Start implementing multiple browsers also. Okay, start implementing multiple browsers. See, I'm going to get the browser name from Excel sheet. under D drive, under classes, under batch 315, under this project folder, under this data, I have this data. I'm going to create a new sheet called browsers. Let me create a new sheet. Name this browser. I'll name this as browsers. Browser Firefox. See, if browser name is Firefox, I want to open the Firefox browser. I need to get that browser name. Xlib dot get Excel data sheet name. Sheet name is nothing but browser. Row number 1 and cell number 0, which returns a string. Hold that in a string variable. Browser name. If browser name dot equals Firefox driver equal to new Firefox driver. Else if browser name dot equals Chrome driver equal to new Chrome driver. If you want for Edge browser, else if browser name dot equals IE, that is Internet Explorer browser, driver equal to new Internet Explorer driver. Whichever the browser you want, you can use it. Yes, get the browser name from Excel sheet. Yes, done. Have you understood this? What I did here? Now, finally, as soon as you get the project in your office, if you see the code like this, you will not understand. Okay, when you go step by step, you will be able to understand. Finally, okay, imagine that I have written the complete test case, all those all the things. Which file you will run here in the project? Which file you will run? No answers. Which file you will run, guys? Yes, .xml file. Very good, Vamsi. See, if the customer tells you to run all the test cases, then you will run functionality.xml. If they tell you to run only customer related scenario, then you will run that. That is why you have created the XML. That is why you have created the XML. After running this XMLs, see, as soon as you get if they tell you to add a new test case like modify customer, you know where to add it and how to use the existing lines and do that. And or else if they tell you to start a new project also, you know where to start. Starting from the folder structure onwards, I have said you. Am I correct, guys? Yes. Now, after running this, where will you get the output? That is what we are going to see. Where will we get the output? Output will be under the project folder. Under this project folder, the active time is the project, right? Under this project folder, there is a folder called test-output. There is a folder called test-output. Under this test-output folder, there is a file called emailable-report.html. This is what the manager will be expecting from you. Emailable-report.html. You have to send this file to your manager. In this, it shows very clear report of how many test cases are there, how many test cases you have run, how many test cases are passing, how many test cases are failing, the reason for failure. The failures will show in red colors. Everything it will show very clearly. Finally, where will be the output? Under project, a folder called test-output. Under test-output folder, a file called emailable-report.html. I'll ask this question after half an hour. Try to note down this into your notes. Where will you get the output? Output will be under test-output. sorry, a folder which is under project folder. Under that particular folder, there is a file called emailable-report.html. What is the file name? Emailable-report.html. Where it is available? It is available under test-output folder. Where is test-output folder available? It is under project. That is what you have to answer. Take down this quickly into your notes. Take down this part. This is what about result analysis, how you analyze the results. Okay, now that's it about this. Now what I'm going to do here, the same thing whatever I have did. I took a sample of 4 test cases in the project called active time project. Totally how many modules are there in this project? How many modules are there? 5. Initially how many modules I took? 2. What are those? Tasks and users. Under task how many test cases I took? 2 test cases. One is create customer and delete customer. Under users I took the same thing whatever I have did earlier. I am going to redo it. Yeah, just to give you an overview. I'm done with the project now. Whatever I said earlier. Now I'm going to just give you an overview. First, create a folder. Assign that folder as a workspace to Eclipse and open Eclipse. First, let me create a folder, new project. I'm going to name this as project 1. I'm going to assign this folder as a workspace to Eclipse and open Eclipse. Let it open. Let it open. Okay. Here, this is what Eclipse has opened. Now, normally you'll be creating a Java project. Okay, rightly go to new Java project, but I'm not going to create a Java project now. Now go to others. I'm going to create a Maven project. I'm going to create a Maven project and click on next. What is the difference between that and this? I will tell you next. Click on create a simple project checkbox. Create a simple project checkbox and click on next. It will ask you group ID and artifact ID. Group ID is nothing but your company name. Artifact ID is nothing but your project name. If you're working for TCS, give us TCS. If you're working for Google, give it as Google. And if you're working for a product called Gmail, give it as Gmail like that. Yes. First, create a Maven project. It may take a bit of time, around 2 to 3 minutes to create the project. Wait for some time. Let it create. Once you expand this, there will be multiple SRCs and pom.xml what you will be getting. Okay. You can use any SRCs and start writing the packages. Earlier you had only one SRC, now you have multiple SRC. Under this SRC, I'm going to go to new, go to package. For each and every module, I used to create different tasks. com.krn.activetime.tasks. I'm going to just give task. You give the full name. For users, I am going to create a new package. Name this as users. Tasks users. For base class, I'm going to create a test base. Will you be able to give the full name? I'm just giving a partial name as tasks. You know what to give the full name, right? Yes. I'm going to name this as create customer. First time when you are creating any test ng class, click on this and click on Add testng library. Description. Test create custom system.out.println create customer system. Similarly, write for delete customer, create user and delete user. Under test base, I am going to create a new testng class. I'll name this class as base class. Base class. I am going to extend this base class. Extends base class. Now in this base class, at the rate before class, I am going to open browser. Yes. Like this, you have to write the skeleton code. I've made only one difference while creating the project. I have created a Maven project. Rest of everything is same as it is. You can write before method, method, after class, and you can just write system.out.println and create the skeleton code. Will you see after the session? Will you be able to create a Maven project and do this? Just I have written the skeleton code here. Whatever I did earlier, the same thing I am doing it again now, but I have created a Maven project. Rest of everything is same as it is. Imagine that I have written the skeleton code. Are you able to understand this? You do the rest of things like delete customer, create user, delete user, and all these things you can do it. Just go through this. I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Then I'm going to start doing the. What is the next step? What I have to do after writing the skeleton code? After writing the skeleton code, yeah, what I have to do? I have to download the standalone server, configure that, then I have to start writing the actual code. That is what I have to do, right? Yes. Just go through this, then we'll start writing the actual code inside this. I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Next, I want to start. Download the Selenium standalone server and see when I start writing the code WebDriver equal to new Firefox driver. I'm not getting why. What is the reason? I need to configure the standalone server. What we do normally, we'll create a project called for jars. We'll keep all the jars files under that and configure that. But since you are using Maven, right, you'll not be doing all those things. You'll not do all those. What you will do, there is a file called pom.xml which gets created automatically. Open pom.xml and add the dependencies. A 4 lines of code called dependency. Dependency should be under dependencies tag. Dependency should be under dependencies tag. Go to pom.xml, add dependency. Go to Google and search for Selenium standalone server Maven dependency. Go here, down. I can add the dependency. Where is the dependency? This is the dependency. Copy this dependency and paste it into the dependencies and give the version 4.41.0 version. Press Ctrl S. If you press Ctrl S, it will download and it will configure automatically. If you click on save, it will download and it will configure automatically. Now we can go and start writing the code WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, is this easy or the previous one is easy to configure? Which one is easy? This one is easy. Okay, adding dependencies is very easy. That's why almost all the companies follows this approach. Going further, I'll be using some other jar files also. What are the other jar files? What I'll be using? Apache POI jar files. There are 10 to 12 Apache POI jar files, right? Each and every jar file will have one each dependency. Okay. This is how you have to add the dependency and start writing the code. Imagine that I have written the complete code. After writing the complete code, I have to add, the next step is I have did the skeleton code and code implementation. Then what is the next step? I have to code reusability. Yes, that I have made it by base class. Then the next step is I need to implement the data driven framework, right? To implement the data driven framework, there are two prerequisites. One is to have Apache PY jar files. Two, if you want Apache PY jar files, Apache PY Maven dependency. What you have to do, open this and add one each dependency. There are many. See PY, PY, OY, XML, Scratchpad. These things is there. Similarly, like how you have this for this when you see this jar files, right? You will have PY, OY, XML, Sketchpad, PY, OY, XML schemas. Like this, for each and every jar, there is one each dependency. Let me open one each dependency. Copy this dependency. Come down and paste it. This is that particular dependency. Copy this dependency and paste it here. Yes, this is the dependency. Likewise, copy one more also. Like all the 10 to 12 jar files, you have to copy that and paste it here so that you will get all the jar files there. Copy this dependency and paste it. Yes, plus control. Likewise, I can add all the dependency. Two differences what we have found till now. One is to have Apache PO, one while creating the project, I have created a Maven project. Second one, while I am adding the jar files, I have added the dependencies. The rest of everything is same as it is. Understood what I did here? Yes. Now, then what you will do, you will create XMLs and imagine that you have did the complete project and which files you will be, which file you will run here? XML files. Now, what customer demands you to tell is he will tell to run the smoke.xml first. As soon as you finish the smoke.xml, you have to run functionality.xml. In the previous case, is it possible to run more than one XML? No. But in this case, it is possible. How? By using a plugin called Surefire plugin. By using a plugin called Surefire plugin, I can install the Surefire plugin inside this. And inside the Surefire plugin, I can mention all the XMLs, whatever I need to run. I can add that plugin, smoke.xml and functionality.xml. Keep all the XMLs inside the Surefire plugin and keep the Surefire plugin inside this pom.xml and run the dependent pom.xml. Plugin should be under build tag. Plugin should be under build tag. It should be under plugins. Plugin should be under build tag. Plugin should be under build tag. Surefire plugin Maven dependency test engine. Now what I am going to do, okay, go to Google and search for Surefire plugin Maven dependency. Here we have all the XMLs. Whichever you want to run smoke.xml. Functionality.xml. .xml and run this so that you will be able to run it. Smoke.xml and functionality.xml. Now, if I want to run right, I will not run any XMLs. First, I will run this pom.xml. When you run this pom.xml, directly it will come to the Surefire plugin. It will trigger all the XMLs. First, it will go to smoke.xml. Inside the smoke.xml, whatever the .java files we want to run, create customer and create user. So that it will run create customer and create user. Then it will come to the next XML, that is functionality.xml. Then it will run that, and finally you will get the out. Where will you get the output? Where will it, what is the output file? What you will be getting? Where will be that emailable hyphen report.html will be available? Under test hyphen output folder. Under where is the test hyphen output folder will be available? It is under project. Okay. Finally, you will be using this Maven structure. You will not be using that normal traditional Java project. You will use a Maven project. Three differences whatever I have said with the previous one and this one. The previous one, whatever we have did, it we have here I have created a Maven project. While creating, I have went to go to other Maven project. They give a group ID and artifact ID, and you have created. The next one is while adding the jar files, I didn't add the jar files, I have added the dependencies. Third one, while running, you will not be running XML files, you will run the pom.xml so that this pom.xml becomes your core of your project, heart of your project. Got it? Yes. Now, let me give you some notes on this. Last notes, what I'm going to give. Maven. You see, Maven is not a framework or anything. It's a build tool to build the project. Maven is a dependency management tool from Apache which can help us manage the dependencies like Selenium standalone server, Apache POI, etc. The latest versions of these APIs will be uploaded in Maven repository and we can pull from the repository and use the latest version. Creating a Maven project. Create a folder, assign that folder as a workspace to Eclipse and open Eclipse. Go to File, New, Others, Maven project, click on Create Simple Project checkbox. In Configure Project window, provide your group ID and artifact ID. That is company name and project name. And click on Next, Next, Next and finish. A Maven project will be created. Take down this quickly into your notes.